Hello, 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 hello. Good start. Clearing my throat already. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to tonight's stream. Let me just shut down one window. There we go. Small disclaimer before we start. I have still got a cough and a cold and a bad throat and stuff like that. You might also just hear some football come on in the background very briefly. I'm just getting the matches up on my other monitors. Because I love football and I want to watch football while I stream because it's fun. Let me turn that off. There we go. Right. OpenTTD. I've been playing this game all the time, just not been making any videos of it over the last few weeks. So basically whenever I've got a spare moment or I'll leave it running in the background, I'll play some bits of OpenTTD here and there. Can you guys see it yet? No, you cannot. Now you can. Okay. This is the approaches to Gardcity St. Peter. We actually have a bit of a problem at the moment in that we might need some more platforms at GSP, particularly on this southern side here. I kind of planned for that a long time ago, and there is a way of doing it. It involves moving these platforms slightly to the south, extending these bridges by a tile, and running an extra line through there that then immediately ducks down and goes into these southern platforms here. I'm going to leave this pinned here for the duration of the stream. I'm probably going to just do that with it though, mainly because I'm still releasing trains out onto the network. I think I mentioned this in the video that I uploaded yesterday. If I didn't, one of the reasons OpenTTD takes so long to do now is because releasing all the trains in one big batch didn't actually work. I thought it would, but it didn't. So what I've had to do instead is release them. So I release them by schedule in batches. So I'll do the first lot, then I'll do the second lot, then I'll do the third lot. Which is annoying, but it's the only way I can get it to work. So, where's I going with that sentence? I don't even know. Oh yeah, so these trains are being released in batches. So 2P00 GSP to Gardcity Great Winfield Airport is still being released. Once that's done, I'll re-enter the timetable numbers and all that kind of stuff and actually work out how many trains we need. I think after that there's only one more. Yeah, there's only one more between GSP and Woolworth Central to do. So that's good. We're not working on that today though. We're coming over this way again. So last time we streamed, we sort of rebuilt most of these lines here. Did we do some tweaking over here? We did, didn't we? We built this sort of bridge flyover type thing, which I might still redo off camera. I won't worry about it now. Plus all the stuff down here. We completely rebuilt Gardcity Rinston Airport Terminal 1 station, which I was really happy with. And then we rebuilt the western and southwestern approaches to that station, which again, really happy with. And then we started going down this line, rebuilding it for use by trains. So here is Dinstown Station. As you can see, we built the new bay platform, and it's all wired up and ready to go, which is awesome to see. We then continued following the line all the way down, did some more rebuilding at various points along the way, until eventually we reached this bit here, and this is Galen Junction. It's the newest station on the network, I think. I don't think I've built any more off camera since. So it's the newest station on the network, and I'm again really happy with the design, really happy how it turned out. We are not building Fort Flonwood Parkway tonight. Reason being is I'm still kind of hoping that some more people want to design ideas for it. And again, I mentioned in the video yesterday, in fact I showed the design that I'd come up with as well, so you can check that out if you haven't done so already. I like my design. My design does do everything that I wanted a design to do, but it is my design, and I don't want just to go with my design. I want to go with the best design. So the competition, if you want to call it that, is still open. you guys can submit ideas. You can do so via my Reddit community. All you have to do is use Paint or Photoshop or Illustrator, whatever's easiest for you. Make a design for Fort Flonwood Parkway. Have a look at my design first so you get an idea as to the criteria. So it needs to be able to serve trains in all directions, going to all directions. Platform limits, I think, is 32. I think that's how many I've got in my design. We don't want too many platforms, that's a bit ridiculous. And what were the other things? I think that's it. Oh, the curve radii has to be realistic so that the speed limits can be attained. But yeah, besides that, you can go a little bit nuts. Oh, and the platforms do have to be as close together as possible. So in my design there's two sets of platforms, north to south and east to west, and they're all a tile apart, essentially. So they're the basic rules. Again, use my design for inspiration if you'd like. Don't just copy my design and resubmit it as yours, because again I will know that that's what you've done. And good luck. Also, don't be offended if two people submit ideas and I kind of combine them together. I only really do that when two ideas are too good to just pick one over the other. I tend to pick both, which is not very decisive of me, I know, but what can you do? So yeah, we're not going to be building Fort Flonwood Parkway today, but we are going to be building the northern approaches. So there will always be 6 tracks coming in. No matter what design people submit, there will always be 6 tracks coming in to the station. And they will split and go their various ways. Ignore this. This won't exist anymore. Neither will any of these tracks. Fort Flonwood Parkway Station, I'm actually building in this gap here. Oh. Let me just check. Can you guys hear me okay? Probably should check that at the start. Hang on, let me just text my moderator. Because I tweaked some of my sound settings to record the XVI podcast on this laptop. So one of the things I did was boost my microphone, so I don't want to be deafening you people right now. But yeah, Fort Flonwood Parkway is going to go in this gap. The northern approaches are going to come from here. There will actually be a station on the westernmost tracks here at New Gruberg, and there will also be a station on the easternmost tracks here at Ronfingberg. Just so that there's a bit of variety. So some trains will go straight through, some will stop. Just to, as I say, make it more variant. Good evening, George. Awesome, you can hear me. See what my mod says as well. It's mainly a test to see if my brother's actually watching. So yeah, Fort Flonwood Parkway is going to go here. Designs are still open. 1 design per person. I should have said that as well. I mentioned that in the video yesterday too. It used to be unlimited, but it's now, the rules have changed. It is 1 design per person. And yeah, I think that's all I'm going to say about that now, because I really do want to get building. So, one of the things we're going to do is from Galen Junction back up to Gardcity Rinston Airport. We're going to go on the Tatham branch, which is this one here. So the Dindstown branch, which is this one here, has pretty much been rebuilt to Realism Initiative standards now. Although there is still that little S-curve there that's bugging me. I mean, it fits, it works, but at the same time, is it necessary? I think the answer to that is probably yes. So yeah, we're going to do the Tatham branch tonight. So, well, we're going to start with the Tatham branch, I should say, because we are going to do a few things tonight. So this section here from Galen Junction outwards, I think I actually rebuilt this as I built Galen Junction Station. So this is all fine. Going through London is also fine. Those bridges are fine. Funningbury Station here is fine. It goes a little bit wrong when we get here to Denninghead. And the reason is Mutway Station and Denninghead Station, one of them is going to have to move. And I think the easiest one to move is actually going to be Denninghead. And the reason I do that is so that I can increase this curve radii here almost up to these machine shop, and then build the new Denninghead Station to the south here, and then have an S-curve take it back. Arsenal are losing. Bloody hell. I thought I saw one of their players, one of the Valencia players celebrating. But you never know. I don't think there is a VAR in the Europa League this season. Maybe next season. I have not really been keeping up to date with the Europa League. But I know from watching the Champions League, particularly in recent weeks, it's always best to wait for the actual goal to be given by VAR before you start celebrating it. So yeah, let's get this done. So the first thing we're going to do is recite this curve of track, like so. And then we're going to build a set of tunnels underneath Denninghead. So we're not going to demolish much of the town, because the station currently is here, and I'm actually going to move it so that it's in line. I think there was where it was. I think it was there. Let's see. Oh, I very rarely get that right. So that's got to be a first, actually. Thinking about it, I very rarely get that right. So yeah, brand new station to be built here. Like so. And then from here across like that. So actually I was quite dreading building this bit, because I thought it would be a real slog. Because Muttway Station was the one I was originally going to move. But actually being able to move Denninghead like this has just made my life so much easier. Whoops. There we go. Let me just reposition myself slightly so I'm not hunched over. Because my back, sitting at my stall, editing the XVI podcast for 5 hours a day, my back is killing me right now. So let's move that. There we go. Now we're sucking diesel, as Ted Hastings says. So yeah, gonna get rid of these tracks. I'm not gonna redo the roads or anything like that, because I kind of like leaving little legacies like that. So this is where the railway used to go. It's a bit like Stevenage, which is near where I live. When I go, in fact, I don't even know why I go that way, but where where Stevenage Station is now is not where Stevenage Station used to be. And if you go to the northern side of the town, you can see where the station used to be still. And I kind of like the fact that they made it obvious still where it was. Probably should have re-signaled this first. Could do that again in a second. So let's remove these tracks, and there we go. So that's one bit done. Like I said, that's actually gone a lot better than I thought it would. Let's put this bit in as well. So yeah, the first part of tonight's stream is going to be redoing this branch up as far as the airport. The second part of this stream, that's not what I wanted to do. The second part of this stream is going to be taking the line between Gardcity St Mark and the airport via Shoreham Junction. So that little 2-track connection that we've got, we're going to be rebuilding that, plus all of the main stations on that little section, because some of them are awful. The design was terrible. I don't know what I was thinking. And then if we've got time, we'll start looking at some other things around the network that we can perhaps tweak as well. But yeah, those of you in the chat, if you have any questions about the series or transport or railways or anything like that, feel free to ask. Try and keep it, family friendly if you can. Always appreciated on this channel. And let's have a good stream for the next couple of hours. Right, let's reprofile this bit of the line. Now I'm kind of weighing up the idea of putting all the waypoints in tonight as well. Why is that not getting lowered? Ah, that's why that's not getting lowered. Okay, I might be able to get away with that. But yeah, I was wondering whether to put the waypoints and stuff in tonight. I would like to, if I can. If I can't, then I'm not that fussed, but it would be nice if I could. Oh, that's annoying. So it's just that one little bit there that's stopping me from doing it. Okay, there we go. Yeah, be nice to put the waypoints in, get it all wired up, and then in theory, apart from doing the speed limit sheets, which I can do off camera, I was going to do those tonight as well, but it takes such a long time. But yeah, in theory, this is ready to go, which is good because next episode or the episode after, whether it's a stream or not, I don't know yet, but I would like to get the center rail services up and running again. Because I think that's one of the reasons why I wanted to get this done in particular. Oh, Arsenal have just scored. Is to get Centre Rail going again, because Centre Rail is a big part of my plans for the series. Particularly as it's kind of the precursor for the cross-country and cross-region services that I want to introduce. So to get that working will be awesome. Plus it means Fort Flonwood gets a rail service again, and we can also start looking at the Gardcity South Western service. Which kind of brings me on to Patreon actually. The Patreon rules have changed. Again, check out my video from yesterday to see the entirety of how they are now different. I list the four main Patreon rules are listed in that video, both audibly and visually, so there's no excuses for those who fall foul of them. But those of you who support me on Patreon, if you support me for 3 consecutive months, you unlock your tier rewards, one of which is the naming or renaming of a franchise. Considering Gardcity South Western is a new franchise to the series, why not hop in now and actually have that named how you choose? That was a really badly phrased sentence. What I mean to say is, if you want to have it named after yourself, you can't. But if you want it named after something, I don't know, favourite football team or whatever, you can, or your local franchise. But so long as it's not copyright protected, I think we can get away with it. Did you hear about the Rail Delivery Group's proposals for the Williams review? I probably have and forgotten about it. I mean, I've got my magazine for this month. I've read a lot of stuff that's going on. The whole Stagecoach debacle that's raging on at the moment, along with loads of other stuff that's just, it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. I see you're very politically minded, George. Particularly, I mean, the Williams report is something that, a bit like other political things going on at the moment, I've kind of been avoiding because it's just doom and gloom and depressing. Let's rebuild this so it's a nice straight curve, if that makes sense. Probably doesn't. I talk a lot of gibberish, but oh wow, Chelsea are losing now as well to Eintracht Frankfurt. The speed limit on these lines tends to be 90 miles an hour, so I can get away with just these little girder bridges. That should do it. So the new waterway is going to come through here and then curve round. So that's all fine now. I'll re-signal, actually, I was about to say I'll re-signal that in a second, but I'll completely forget otherwise. So let's do it now. So let's say, what do I do? I'm really like misclicking everything tonight, aren't I? Can I do it like this? No, that'd be too easy, wouldn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Like that. Okay, and then this bit, where's the, I think there, like that and like that. So yeah, this is Tadham Station. This is where the branch gets its name from. So we do have to. So I was going to say build a bay platform here as well, but no, because that's why I thought Flonwood Central has 3 bay platforms or 3 terminus platforms on the Tadham branch, whereas Dintown has only 2 because Dintown Station itself has facilities for terminating services. I want to rebuild this section here as well. Again, excuse me constantly clearing my throat. It annoys me more than it annoys you, trust me. And if my voice sounds unusually deep tonight. Problem is, when you're a content creator for 2 different channels, even when you take time off one of them, because you're still working on the other one, you never actually get the rest. So I've taken 3 weeks off M4J, as you know, which is what the video yesterday was about, and yet I've probably done more talking because I host the podcast than I would have done if I just kept on with M4J. It's really funny how things work out. Whoops. Yeah, has anyone from the chat here checked out the XVI podcast yet? If you haven't, I should probably have had some links set up available actually. If my brother's still here, maybe he can post a link to the latest XVI podcast. It's very good, if I do say so myself. Very well edited. Okay, so this I think is the last major bit of rebuilding. Oh, that's not gone where I wanted it, has it? This should be the last major bit of rebuilding needed. And then we can start focusing on phase 2 of this stream. Oh, Arsenal have just scored again. 2-1. Do you think I can get away with a double bridge here? Double bridge. Double elevation? I reckon so. It's all electric trains They're going to be running through here. The occasional diesel, maybe. We should be able to get away with that. That's not what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Chat's very quiet. Is everyone still here? Very, very quiet. Always makes me worried when things go quiet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's go put it there. Yeah, that looks like it works. And that doesn't work because I did it to the wrong size. Now I bet it doesn't work. Yeah. This block where the station is a little too big now, but that's fine. Actually, let's make sure these are all definitely where they should be. Yeah. Good stuff. Right. Save quickly. So what was the Rail Delivery Group's proposal for the Williams review? Considering, isn't the Williams review the investigation into procedures on the UK rail network? So I'm not really sure how you can have a proposal for a review. Ah, Tom, you are here. Good. Tom, could you post a link, if you can, to episode 3 of the XVI podcast? Should be the one called Our History of Gaming. Yeah, this line has been redone. Completo. So you can see where the scars on the landscape are at the moment, but they'll all disappear in time. I will at some point, when I can be bothered, rebuild these stations to look a little bit nicer as well, so they're not just empty platforms. Mind you, some of the stations in South London are just like empty platforms. So, I don't know. I'm not dissing South London, by the way. More the laziness of Network Rail to make their stations look nice. Or Southern, or Southeastern, or South Western Railways, or whoever else is in charge. London Overground. London Underground, even, at some places. So yeah, we're back at Fort Flonwood Central. And we're going to do a snippet of demolition here. The reason being, these currently are bay platforms. I think these ones down here are going to stay bay platforms, but we're going to have Western Reaches trains coming in from the south here as well. So we kind of want to build these platforms to be able to accommodate terminating services from both directions, which is where this comes in. Like so. And track. So all Western Reaches services that come from the south, from Fort Flonwood Parkway, will terminate in these platforms here. And I will also make sure that these are all sharing orders. Which one are you? That one. Alright, train is entering from the back, then that, but also if train is entering from the front, then just allow. There we go. It won't let you post a link. Does it say why? Williams' review is the government's review of the rail network. So yeah, exactly what I said. He called for evidence to replace the franchising system. Virgin has proposals, and so has the Rail Delivery Group. Rail Delivery Group proposed for long-distance services to be changed to an auction-style system similar to airlines to allow multiple operators on the same line. Straight away I can see the problems with that. And that's one of the reasons why open access hasn't really taken off over here, or anywhere for that matter, because competition. Thing with air, so like if an airline, like, I'm trying to think of a good example, Virgin Atlantic flies from London Heathrow down to Los Angeles, let's say, and then British Airways decide they want to run a route between the same two places, it's entirely at their risk. So they have to pay the fees to land at those two airports. They also have to fuel their own aircraft, run their own staff training, all that kind of thing. Blah blah blah, it's very boring. However, in the rail industry, it's not quite the same, because although rail operating companies have to run the services, pay their staff, they lease the vehicles, and they also lease the track access. And it's not their job to build and maintain those two things. So, competition in rail is the reason why open access operators are not really that common still. New independent body is proposed to oversee the network and make sure operators stick to the rules. Isn't that what the Department for Transport currently do, though? Commuter routes would be devolved from Westminster to local authorities and transport bodies. Okay, that one's more interesting. So yeah, I know the West Midlands already have a transport executive. I think is still what they're called. And I know that Wales is now getting one, and the north of England already has one, Transport for the North. So that's good. I also know that Virgin Trains West Coast is being transferred over to the West Coast Partnership at the end of next year, I think it is. Which means a change in how things work there too. But yeah, I'm not a fan of that auction system, because isn't that technically what already happens now during the bidding process? Is you bid, it's an auction. Alright, so these platforms have now been redone. So it's these three platforms mainly that will be used for terminating services from the north and the south. Excuse me. And then on this side of things, these two platforms here will be used for terminating services, and then the rest of the platforms here will be used for through services. It gets a little bit messy here as well, because we have got these, I think it might just be these two platforms here and these two platforms here that will be used for express services. I'm trying to decide, should express services call more often at Fort Flonwood Central or more often at Fort Flonwood Parkway? And I'm actually leaning more towards Fort Flonwood Parkway because it's a bigger station and has more platforms for it. However, Fort Flonwood Central means you don't have to then change trains and journey back into Fort Flonwood. So I'm a bit stuck right now. Independent body similar to Strategic Rail Authority, basically instead of the government doing it. Nah. I'm not sure I like that idea though. Because the thing I'm worried about with that is people who have campaigned for years now to renationalise the railways are going to use that as fodder. They're going to say, you know, the government's getting less and less control in the rail network. But at the same time, the government is the reason why it's failed for so long. So, I don't know. It might be a good thing, it might be a bad thing, I just don't know right now. I think the Williams reviews come about 5 years too late, though, because the golden age of British railways, the UK railways, has most definitely come to a shuddering halt. It's all gone wrong. Essentially, it has all gone wrong. So personally, what I would do is, instead of a stupid bidding process for franchises, it should be awarded on a merit scheme. So if you've run a franchise in the past and you've done a good job with it, so for example Arriva run Chiltern Railways and they've done a really good job with it, so that they should be looked upon more favourably when they bid for other franchises, because they've proved in the past that they can do it, whereas National Express used to be able to do it, but they've had some bad runs recently. National Express East Coast being a good example of that. So if they now bid for franchises, they should be made to sort of prove themselves a little bit more. Because currently the way the franchise system works is companies are taking bigger and bigger risks in order to prove that they can pay the government back the most money in order to be able to run a franchise. And that just isn't sustainable. It's one of the reasons why Virgin and Stagecoach lost the East Coast franchise, was because they couldn't afford to run it anymore because they'd overpromised. And the only reason they overpromised was because they felt they had no alternative in order to win the franchise. So the bidding scheme is flawed, heavily flawed. So the only way you're going to fix that is to change things up. And I don't see there being much of an issue with going with the same companies all the time. So long as they can prove that they can do it, there's no reason why they shouldn't have that right taken away from them. It does get a little bit difficult then, because you do want to encourage new companies to join in as well. You don't want to alienate anybody. But then I think that also encourages consortiums to bid, because if you get a respected name on your bid, it will be considered more, rather than just offering more money. Yeah, George agrees, Parkway as well. I think one of the problems we've got at the moment in not just rail politics, but all politics in general, is people are very quick to jump on the mistakes of others, and they'll run off and they'll quickly write a report that fixes all the mistakes that the previous people have made, but they don't actually put much thought into beyond that. So I don't have problems with the Rail Delivery Group. I think they've actually followed through on their name quite a few times. But I think they're so desperate to see reform that they've not really thought it through. I could be wrong though. I think whatever happens now, it needs to be a joint decision between the government and all the companies involved, so that everybody's on the same page. Particularly with the old Crossrail debacle raging on still as well. Although I did read a press release that they put out last week, I think it was, outlining some of the changes they've implemented, and they've changed the way that they're processing tasks now, and they might have an update in the not too distant future regarding how long it'll be before Crossrail is operational. I know they have said that Abbey Wood to Paddington should be December this year, and then the rest of the route through the tunnels, I think they said next year. Trying to remember now. Again, apologies for the constant coughing and throat clearing and all that stuff. So Fort Flonwood Parkway is going to go in this gap, pretty much. I need to actually work out how big the site is going to be. So let me just look at my design. Because I designed mine quite big. So if you can fit it in that gap, then that's brilliant. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16 tiles long, wide there, plus another. God. Let's say 30 by 30, just as a speculative number. 30 by 30. Like that. So we'll flatten all of the land here as well. There we go. So you can see the north to south tracks will run through here, and then the east to west tracks at a slightly higher level will run across like that. The reason I'm doing that is so I know that if I cut this line back, how far back it needs to go. Where did I say... Oh, I've jumped out of it for some reason. Okay, so the southern track is going to go to Plondingston Bay, via Plondingston Bay. So there. So that's going to swing round that way. And then the eastern side, the western side, sorry, is going to go via Keffingbourne, which is there. So that one, yeah, you're going to swing around that way. So the north to south lines are pretty much going to run through here, Floodingville, and then swing round and join up over here at Gironam's Cross. So I can cut the line back pretty much as far as Plondingston Bay. Excuse me. Can't wait for this cough to disappear. Right. So this is going to go down to 2-track. It's 4-track currently, but it's going to go down to 2-track. I won't do that right now though, because again, I might need 4 tracks here. If someone submits a better design, we'll need a way to actually implement that. But I wanted to clear this site just so you guys got an idea as to where the station's going to go. So the northern tracks here are going to come straight down through this gap. And yeah, I'm doing a little bit of demolition here, but not too much. So you'll get an idea as well as to where these stations will go. So the 2 central tracks are part of the express services, and they will not be calling at either of these stations along the way, but the 2 sets of outer tracks, one of which, the western track, will serve New Gruberg here. So let's build these tracks while I talk. So yeah, New Gruberg station. I might build it on this lower section actually. Maybe here, where the canal is. Maybe build some bridges here. I haven't decided on that yet. And then this bit here, have the other station on the eastern side for Romfingberg, Actually, Ronthingberg might have to go here. So New Gruberg might go at the top of the hill here. Just because if Fort Flonwood Parkway is going to go here, this whole thing's actually going to have to move over slightly. How far out does it come? So from the centre track, one, two, three, four, five. Here comes 5 over, so from here it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this will then be 30 by 30. And that's how big the site's going to be. Like that. Can I place all of these? I already own it, do I? Let's try that again, shall we? There we go. So that's going to be the rough site of Fort Flonwood Parkway. I think. Even that's looking quite small. We've got room, we can expand further to the south. Plus the 2 main tracks are actually going to tunnel underneath Floodingville. So that was always part of the plan. So this is fine. Actually, this is good. Quite like it. But yeah, I can now build these tracks right up to the edge here. Whoops. That's gonna... Yep. Didn't want to do that. Okay. So yeah, New Gruberg Station is going to go up on this shelf here. And then Ronthingberg Station is going to go sort of here. Let me build those before I forget. So you're going to go there, and then you're going to go there. So you are New Gruberg. Oh, hang on. Actually, before I do all this, let's signal this area. Or do I need to do that? No, I don't really, do I? Because we're not focusing on that bit at the moment. We're focusing on the northern side, so that we can get some terminating services through to Fort Flonwood Central. Excuse me. So yeah, how do you think this looks so far? I think this looks alright. Quite happy with it. I'm debating as well whether to... because currently the Western Reaches South just crosses over the line here. I wasn't going to add an interchange at Dinstown, but I could do, in theory, because here I can have the line just go underneath all of this and then turn west again, and then here have it swing around a little bit more and actually go through Dinstown with some kind of interchange. Problem with doing that is it then kind of eliminates the need for Fort Flonwood Parkway, so I might just have the tracks go past. Maybe have a separate New Dinstown station down here. No, not New Dinstown, just Dinstown. Like Dinstown South or something like that. I don't know. I'm speculating. Anyway, that is phase 1 of the stream complete. So I can save the game. and then we can start looking at the second bit. Which is rebuilding this section here. So we kind of already started it with the way that all these tracks converge into two here. The problem I had with this line was it was always very hastily built. It was very slapdash, let's say. Particularly this station here, which is Letford St Francis. That is going. I mean, that is so gone. That station is the ugliest design I think I've ever come up with. This all comes out from a branch of GSMA, which I'm also going to just get rid of completely. So the problem we had, whoopsie doodle, the problem we had was we have this like triangular junction. And to the north we've got Sibbertsham, to the south we've got Dinpool East, and to the west we've got Rudinghatton Ridge. Now I could have just done what I did with Fort Flonwood and say let's build a parkway station here or a junction station here, but actually I don't want to do that with this. I want it to be a proper triangle, tracks going off in different directions kind of thing. So I'm going to get rid of all of these lines first of all, and I'm going to just clear space the whole way through. And I'm going to clear 6 wide space because I haven't decided what I'm going to do with all of this yet. Actually, something else I might do is lower this down so that it's a so it's a tunnel that goes underneath. Dinpool East Station might need to be moved slightly as well. And again, I'm not a huge fan of doing that. Or maybe I am. Maybe I'm not actually, because this track here on the shelf needs to stay on the shelf. Although this crossover, double crossover, I'm not sure why I did that. I don't think that's necessary. Maybe I can move Dinpool East after all. We've also got these are very long overground platforms. And I've built them slightly far away from the rest of the station for some reason. This metro station I'm going to move. So much here that I'm going to redo. So yeah, Dinpool East Station is going to get a facelift. And a much needed one by the looks of things. And this is kind of why I wanted to do all this as a part of a live stream, to make sure that I got it right. And as this is all part of the lines out of GSMA, it is technically still relevant that we're doing it now. Like I said, Centre Rail is the objective, and Centre Rail runs to 2 places to the north of Gardcity, 2 places to the south, and then 1 to the east and 1 to the west. This can all go as well, actually, we don't need that. Get stuffed. Okay, so Dinpool East, the new Dinpool East, all of this is going to go as well. So Centre Rail is going to follow probably these 2 tracks. I think Cadingbury might be a good place to terminate it. Let's just do that for now. So here we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do I want to do that? I don't want to do that. So you're going to be a side platform. You're going to be a side platform. So you're going to be a through track. You're going to be a through track. You're going to be a side platform. So you're going to be an island platform as well. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you're going to go like that. You're going to go like that. You're going to go like that, and you're going to go like that. Okay. And then to the north and to the south, we're going to do our connections. Now, grade separation or flat junctions? That's a good question. You're going to be just 2 tracks connecting all this. Actually, are you? No, I don't think you are. So I'm tempted to go 4 tracks. This is the freight loop here, so I can cut that right back, no problem. But you see here, we've got the 4 tracks that come in. Oh, that's getting rebuilt as well. Looking at that, that is awful. I think I've got a few of these on this little section of track. We'll cut that back, and we'll cut that back. So yeah, this bit is going to come out like that. You're fine. All of that bit's going to get cut back. What am I checking for? Oh yeah. Get rid of those. Alright, that's better. See, I think between Cibbitsham and Dinpool East, we're going to have the same 4-track configuration. Cibbitsham Station is also going to get rebuilt to make that look a little bit nicer. I also don't think it needs to be at this level. I think we can drop it down a level. Instead of having that rise up, we can just keep it flat. Like so. And like so. That's Cibbitsham. Gee, how big does Cibbitsham need to be? I don't think and then I think. That doesn't work as a sentence, does it? Yeah, I'm just looking because I'm not sure that we need this many platforms here at Cibbitsham. I think we could actually get away with just having this. And then some island platforms. And then a 2-track gap. And then some more island platforms. And then side platforms. Again, like that. That should work better. That should work a lot better. Then we can go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. And then this can come across like this. and that can come across like that, and in fact we'll have another set of crossovers there like that. This can all connect up like so. This side will be very much the same. And like that. Yep, looks good to me. And then also some crossovers in this direction as well. Just something a bit like that. Now I'm trying to think, how am I going to do this this airport line junction? So that needs to meet up over here. This station's also going to shrink, so it's going to become a 4-platform station rather than 6. Because again, we really don't need that many tracks. I might leave these outside tracks in and use them for freight. That could work. That might work really well, actually. Okay. So let's say this junction here, let's give it a reconfiguration. So these two platforms connect up to Dinpool E, actually. Oh, see, this is where I can't make my mind up, because the curve into Dinpool East is going to be really tight unless we use these two tracks. Then we've got an extra 2 tiles that we can play around with, which might work better. So I think what I might do is give myself 3 extra tiles by doing that. Level all this like that. And then come over to here. So if you go under like that, and then these two platforms, these two tracks can come along like this and connect up like that. And then we can have a pretty consistent, like 45-mile-an-hour speed limit going into there. This will be the line between Civicham and Dinpool East. And then over here, if we do it like this and then replace these with bridges, so these will be the 2 tracks that connect up over to Civicham. Okay. I think that works. If I lift this side up as well now, and then so essentially what I want is that to connect to that, and we'll do it via a truss, and then that to connect to that via a truss, that to connect to that via a truss, and then this one via a truss. And then connect all of these up. Let me just check the chat quickly. Very quiet in the chat. Don't like quiet chats. Alright, there we go. So we'll connect those like that as well. You can connect up like that, you can connect up like that. I think I might connect that one like that as well. So you can see what I mean about it's still quite a tight curve, but it's not as bad as it was before. Hello M4J! Hello Kurt. Did you join just as I said it was quiet? Oh dear. God, you sound like Dylan when you say things like that. Not that's a bad thing, of course. And then we join these tracks up like this. I should probably have told you the center rail destinations, shouldn't I? I'll show you them in just a second. Because the western end is also one of the northern ends. So it does make sense to just talk you through that because it's a little bit confusing. Alright, that's that connected up. So I can do... And then these ones can connect up like this. What on earth are you talking about? I'm just getting a load of Facebook messages for those of you in the chat that are wondering what I'm talking about. Okay. I need to do a better job of this, actually. I'm trying to make it so that trains from... There we go. So that trains from this line here can get across to these platforms here as well as these platforms here. I think I've done a decent job of that. I hope I've done a decent job of that. Because yeah, centre rail trains... In fact, there might even be 3 destinations, possibly 4 even, in the south. I'll have to see about that. But yeah, this is looking good. And then this side of things is also looking good. So let's connect all this up. You go there like that. Let's remove that temporarily. Like that. Connect all this back up. Like so. And like so. That works. This side of things, do I need extra junctions here? I might put them in just in case. But in theory, I probably don't need them. We'll see though, because you never know. And that does mean I can then extend these platforms out by a tile. It's got quite a strange design here now. That's also fine. Then we just got to rebuild Dimple East. This connection here is already done. Here's another one of those curves that I was telling you about. I've obliterated Manuel in the past, I can see. And here at Rondworth. And it looks like I'm annihilating this town again. I appreciate that. It looks like I am, but in actuality, I'm creating a new area for it to grow into. It just has to involve some bulldozing to begin with. So I want the metro platforms, metro stations. Like so. These can then get connected back up. Like so. And that one I think needs to go as well. And then all of this can get, whoops, all of this, try that again, should be able to get raised up again. I think this line can just skirt the edge. Yes, good stuff. So, does anyone have questions about the series or the channel? Particularly after yesterday's episode, I thought there might be some people with questions regarding this, that and the other. If not, then great. If so, then I'll be happy to answer them, but I think now's your best chance, because comments were enabled for yesterday's video, but they won't be re-enabled on the channel for a while still. So now's your chance, is what I'm trying to say. Right, this is all done now. The connection over to GSMA is all fine still. I'm really happy still with how this all turned out. This looks really, really cool. So yeah, heading back over this way. Apart from re-signalling, which I'll do shortly, this is in theory all done. Awesome. So yeah, we need to re-signal all this now. So let's do 13 for this. I'll connect that one up as well. Might as well. That one there, I think is a good place for that one. The map I'm building on, do you mean? This was built, I think episode 53 springs to mind of the Majeffries network was when this map started. So I think it was either late 2017 or early 2018. Then it sat gathering dust for a while during the hiatus. Now it's back. Oh, I didn't connect up these platforms. Derp. It's quite old. This world is quite old. I was originally going to start a new one for the M4J network, but I couldn't really let go of this one. This has been my most favourite map that I've ever built on Transport Tycoon. So I felt like I owed it the chance to come through to the new series. So far so good. I also felt like I had unfinished business with it as well, because the Jeffrey's network did end quite abruptly, and I was in the middle of a major rebuilding project, so I kind of wanted to finish that off. Alright, so that's that all signalled. I will put the backwards facing signals here as well. Very rarely do I actually program them, but it's nice to have them just in case. I do like the idea of this all being flat junctions as well. I think that will work out quite nicely. Alright, let's lift this land up. So yeah, this metro station is going to get rebuilt. I think I might actually build it up here. Or, like, have... hang on, I'm doing a really bad job of explaining myself. So from Letford Lime, have it come round like this, and then have the platforms here maybe, and then bridge over these junctions, and then curve round into Lutfield. Something like that. Something a bit better than just what it is at the moment, which isn't very good. There's one person in the chat who I thought would be dying to ask questions right now, after yesterday's video. But is being eerily quiet. There's that cough again. Oops, right. So I want that. Then that. And then somewhere over here, there it is. That. And that and that. That. This station's only going to get rebuilt. And that. Yep, that works out quite nicely. Alright, good stuff. So this bit of track is done. That's good to see as well. Now I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the waypoints here. I think I'm going to have to put them on this bit. Which does mean already having to move that signal over slightly. Whoops. And it also means having to move this slope one tile west. So yeah, let me show you where center rail's going to run, and then you'll see why I'm doing this. So the Oh god, it really does lag when you zoom out. Actually, a save as well before I do anything else. So the northwestern terminus for Centre Rail is possibly, that's not the right line. It's either going to be Flame Junction here, or, because it's not that much further away, Dronnington and Tenfing Bridge, which is here. Okay, got a bit of lag now. There we go. So yeah, it might be Dronnington and Tenfing Bridge. The reason it could be here is because I've got some new platforms that it could potentially serve. Also, it can then use the depots that I've placed over here as its train maintenance facility. The western terminus, and this might sound confusing, so the northwestern terminus is potentially Dronnington and Tenfing Bridge. The western terminus is also going to be Dronnington and Tenfing Bridge, but instead of running down the West Winds line this way towards Gardcity, it's actually going to run along these tracks that we built a couple of episodes ago now, 3 or 4 episodes ago. Goes down through Aden Buzzard, Great Gronwood, Nardhead, Lenton, Eastburg, Wendington, and then connects up with the Western Reaches north at Wenfingfield Western via these platforms, and then goes through Wenfingfield again, and then connects up with the Great Western Line here at Great Winfield Airport, but then also goes across the Cross City Line, which does still need to be rebuilt. Connects with the West Winds out of GSE here at Hannington. Also then connects with the line here at Sladtown South. Also then connects with the West Winds main line up here at Plenfing Bridge. Yeah, Plenfing Bridge Tunnel. Connects up with the Great Northern Line here at Gunway Bridge. So it's quite a useful connection if it starts at Dronnington and Tenfing Bridge. Connects with the Overground here at Sondinghead Cross. And then connects up with the Great Eastern Line at Daningpool Bridge, and then the main interchange here at Renston Interchange, where it also connects with Transrapid, Metro, Overground, all that kind of good stuff, and the HLR. And this is probably going to be the eastern terminus for... Actually, no. No, the eastern terminus is going to be down at Reningbury. Yeah, down here at Reningbury. So the service that we've currently got on the Gardcity Great Eastern franchise, as it's reverted back to its original name now, the one that runs between GSJ and Reningbury, that's going to be replaced with the Centre Rail service. That's what was going to happen. The northwestern route is going to follow the West Winds line all the way down to GSG. And then instead of going into the terminus platforms, it's going to go into the through platforms. Run through GSG, Guard Lake, GSMA, and that one is then going to run through Shoreham Junction and down this way. And it's probably going to run to Cadingbury Junction, which was... is it this one? Yeah. Over to Cadingbury Junction. The northeastern Centre Rail service is going to start up at Punfing Airport. Punfingford Airport. Where the hell did I get Punfing Bridge from? It's going to start up here at Punfingford Airport. Probably the main platforms here, rather than the ones over here at T3. It's going to start at T1, and then it's going to run down the Great Northern Line through Dontborough, places like that. And again, instead of going into the terminus platforms at GSG, it's going to go into the through platforms. It's going to run through Guard Lake, GSMA, and then this is the service that's going to come down this way through Rinston Airport and probably down the Dinstown branch. Thinking about it, I think that one would make more sense, and terminate at Fort Flonwood Central. maybe being extended to Fort Flonwood Parkway. Not decided on that yet. The reason I said there might be more north to south services is because maybe just from the southern side of things, there's a lot of lines out here. So, for example, the one that, instead of terminating at Fort Flonwood Central, it could end up going through Parkway and continuing off in this direction, or it could then go this way down towards Buntbourne. But then that could be done by Gardcity South Western. We'll see. We'll have to see. That's kind of the plan. How are we doing for time? An hour and a half. So I've got about half an hour left if we do 2 hours. Is there anything else I needed to build over here? Oh, the waypoints would be good. That would help things, wouldn't it? Let's do some waypoints. So I won't do the southern ones, like I said, because we're not decided on that yet. But I'll do these northern ones. Let's go with this style. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 there. 1 there. 1 there. And 1 there. So let's say the speed limit is 30 coming out of here. 40, 50, 40, 30. That's if you're slowing down. Actually, you don't need to slow down that much, thinking about it. So 40, 50, 60, 50. Yeah, that one's almost too fast now. So 30, 40, 50, 40. So just miss out this one. That could work. This one I want it to continue going up. So I think 30 miles an hour in and out of Fort Flonwood Central is a realistic speed. 45 at an absolute maximum. The brief I gave said 30 to 45 on the third rail lines, and 45 to 60 on the overhead lines. So I think we'll stick with that as a rule of thumb. Now all of these will have 4 waypoints. That should see us. Actually, the smart thing to have done would be to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're going to go there, and you're going to go there. Like that. And like that. Yeah, that works. I won't name them right now. I'll name them later. Did I not signal this? That was dumb. Does that mean I've not signalled this side either? No, I have not. Also dumb. It's me thinking we were done. We were nowhere near done. So one of these is going to be a lot easier to do the waypoints for than the other, and I'm sure you can guess which way round that is. Also the fact that I've made this bit exceptionally difficult. So let's do this as well. Just do that and that. It's one of the problems with having curves like this directly after major stations is it means you can't put the waypoints in. At least not like how you want to put them in. So I personally would want to put the waypoints as soon as possible. But with Galen Junction that is not going to be easy. In fact, it's not possible at all. Never mind easy. It's just impossible. So it does make my life a little bit harder. But only really on the line up this way towards Tatham. Even this little section here towards Dintown, it does still kind of work. Let's put those in as well. So yeah, here I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it has to be there. Of course it had to be there. Instead of putting the waypoints 2 tiles away, I can put them 1 tile away for this bit. Plus, I can put some waypoints in this section here as well. That's the wrong way. Like that. Do I need some in the middle of here? I don't think I do. Actually, no. I think I will do just to be safe. Just as a route guidance thing rather than a speed limit thing. Yeah, that works well. Okay, so I want to check the speed limit. So coming out of here, say it's 45 out of the, or 40, so it's ends in a 0. Say it's 40 out the fast platforms. So 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. That there is 90. But if you're coming out of Galen Junction, you're going to be going at, say, 40 miles an hour again. 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Whereas coming out slow, it's going to be 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1 there. Takes you up to 40. I can't fit 1 on this bit. That's a pain. So you're going to be 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and then another one for the trains coming out from the east side, of which there will be some, I'm sure. So that's that bit done. And we've got to do this side. So this can just be a straight 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. $50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and I'm going to put an extra one here. So I just thought there might be some trains that go from the fast lines to the slow lines here. So likewise, here I'm going to do the same. Like so. So that's all good. Now we can do the waypoints up at the airport. How many have we got here? So say it's 30 out. 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. And if it's 40 out of the fast, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. So you're done. 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. You're done. 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. You're done. Cool. This side, was it 60 we said the highest speed was going to be through here? I think it's going to be 60 on the slow and the fast lines. So 30, 40, 50, 60 there. And on the fast, 40, 50, 60, maybe 70 on the fast. So you can get up to that there. So these two sets of waypoints we don't need anymore. Cool. Those curves should be able to support it as well. So then 70, 60, 50, 40, 30. In fact, we've got loads of waypoints here. I don't think we need these ones. I think it can all be covered here. So 70, 60, 50, 40, and then into GSMA. That works perfectly. Good. Right. Yeah, this section of line, actually, I mean, apart from that bit, which looks bloody awful, the rest of it does actually kind of work. Let's just do one big demolition job for that. There we go. See, it's just factor in a couple of bridges there. See, I don't think Centrail is going to use these two tracks here. It might do. It might do. I haven't decided whether I want Centrail to use the main line between GSMA and the airport here, or whether I want it to use the branch. Let me know what you guys think in the chat. This is a test to make sure people are still paying attention. Yeah, the rest of that bit looks good. This bit looks good now. There we go, and then up into this bit. Waypoints might be... Alright, George says main line. So it'll probably be that then. Yeah, what's the speed limit on this section going to be? Probably 40. So coming out the slow lines here, an extra couple of waypoints. Whoops. One here. And one, number 19. There. Then you connect up, that's fine. Might need another station here at north of New Chenfing Field. Probably not though. Maybe not. Let's convert you. Get you facing the other way. Then we've got New Chenfing Field there. And then, yeah, another... couple of waypoints here. Just to... Are they on the same level? No, they're not. That really threw me then. Now they are. Cool. And then on this side, 40... No, 30, because then it just naturally... Maybe... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can put a set of waypoints on this side, but not the other side, unless I do it for... Oh, I'll do it for navigation purposes. But I can easily achieve 40 miles an hour here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like that. This side can also have some waypoints added. Like so. 1, 2, 3. That's not going to work. So let's just do one there and one there. So again, on the fast lines here, probably 40, so 50, and then 40 again to go into Dimple East. That'll work. That'll do, as they say. And then this one, and what was that, number 7? So actually you can go there, which means I can put that signal back where it was. Chat's gone very quiet again. Super quiet. Don't like it. It's too quiet. I feel like I need another branch coming off here, but I don't know where it would go. Because it can't connect to the overground. I just feel like we got those 2 extra lines, we should use them, kind of thing. I don't think it's actually necessary. I don't think it'll add anything to the network if we did that. It's just me being dumb. Alright, you, and what number are you? Just Thetford waypoint. And then this one. Your number 3. So 30, 40, 50, 40, 50, 60. That should be fine for this whole run, actually. So we've got to take it back down to 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And another one there. And then you. And you. And then that one and that one. And then you're number 2. Trunpool Bridge? Yeah, Trunpool Bridge number 2. And just the first one. Right. Those are all the waypoints done. I think that's all the waypoints done. Got to name them. Got to do all the speed limits for them. I'll do that some other time. Won't worry about that right now. How are we doing for time? Still got like 12 minutes. Any requests? Anything you'd like to see done in this episode in roughly 12 to 25 minutes? Something like that. Any more questions? Anything you want to know about the network? Just to fill the time. If not, we'll start wrapping things up now. Yeah, Dimple's going to get built to cover all this area again. What was the other one? Oh yeah, Manuel's going to fill all this area. Manuel sounds like 40 Towers. I'll build a new bridge over the railway here. Thetford can expand into this gap now too. Rondworth is doing alright actually, 13,000. I feel like there needs to be a new town over here. Maybe Shoreham, if I built a bridge, could expand over into this area, and so could Tedborough, and so could Brentburg. I'll have to see about that. Right, I'll give it a couple more minutes for people to make their minds up in the chat what they want to see. But yeah, in theory, at least as far as Dinpool East, do still need to connect all these up. Joe Kurt, I had a feeling you might not. That's fine. That is fine. What is this set of... Oh, I know where that goes from. Yeah. I might actually... See, there's currently 2 tracks between Dinpool and... what's this? Dunbourne Bridge. I might double it to 4. And then still just have 2 tracks here. Go down towards Buntbourne. Oh, Arsenal 3-1. I missed that goal. This is Buntbourne. Oh, no. This is the overground. So that's what that double crossover does. It makes you confused. This is the line I want. It goes through a big tunnel. Yeah, Buntbourne Parkway. We'll see. We'll see with that. Some towns have been named to people's suggestions. So, link in the description should still be there for this. We'll take you to the name suggestions list where you can name... you can add suggestions for station names, bus stop names, town names, and there are some others, I can't remember what they are. I have amended it though, because the Patreon tiers have the areas of Bar City you can name, plus mainline routes, things like that. This is Gardcity South Freight Terminal, by the way. Which is another reason why I wanted to get all this up and running again, because if you think about it, the Gardcity Great Eastern Line is done, the Great Northern Line is done, the Great Western Line is done, the Western Reaches North Line is done, and the West Winds Line is done. And that's where most of our freight network was based. So we could now start running iron and ore and coal trains again and get our steel production back. Because, I mean, look at our finances. You see how much... yes, I have been cheating money in. That's what these others are. You see how much we're losing on property maintenance. I can show you here just why we're losing so much on property maintenance. Station tiles costs us 3 billion a year. Plus road, 1 billion. Another billion on electrified rail. 631 million on third rail. Signals cost us 500 million pounds a year. It's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that we're paying for right now. So to get some freight up and running would be quite beneficial. These station tiles are one of the reasons. Like, we got 28,667 station tiles. That is a lot. I think that includes road station, like road bus stop kind of things, tram stops. It doesn't include airports, as you can see. I think it includes docks as well. We're also spending 4 million a year on canals, which isn't too bad, since most of it is natural, like we've got here. But yeah, getting the freight up and running again. I will have to do the... I might have already done it. Where are we? Up here. Yeah. So where the Great Western Line meets the freight loop, I'm actually going to make it one direction, so you can only go north here, because currently you can turn around and go south. The reason I'm going to do that is if you're running from the west here to the south freight terminal, you can in theory just follow the freight loop, which is here. you can follow this all the way around. Is it this bit where it runs through? No, it's this bit. Yeah, follow it all the way through here. Connect up to the main line here. Is that the one? Sorry for umming and ahhing as well, by the way. I'm trying to just see where I'm going. So avoid the freight terminal. That's what you need to do. And continue on this line. Branch off onto this side of the freight loop. And then head southwards this way. And actually connect up to the freight terminal that way instead. So it's a longer route. It's a much longer route. But it should be just as viable. Let's connect those up again. Likewise, if you're coming in from the Western Reaches north, sorry, this one. I'm thinking of adding the connection in again. So currently it's I think the junction used to be here. Adding that connection in. So where is the freight line? There it is. So it might have to be over here. But actually having it so you can only go south, and then you'll have to run through the south terminal and then turn north again. But yeah, I'll go away off camera now and do the speed limit sheets for... Actually, one more thing I will do. Otherwise I will forget. Is this. So it doesn't sound like anyone else has any requests, because no one has said anything in the chat. So last chance has come and gone. And I know what will happen. I'll finish the stream, or I'm literally just be hovering over the button and someone will ask a question in the chat. Because that has happened that actually happened the exact last time I streamed. And on Twitch it used to happen all the time. So yeah, this is going to be freight trains going up and over. Like so. Have we got truss? Yep. So George, addressing you directly. This is your last chance if you have any questions or anything. If you don't have any questions, then I'd appreciate just you saying I don't have any questions, rather than just ignoring when I'm talking to you. Or better yet, if you do have questions and you're not sure whether you should ask them or not, just ask them. What's the worst that can happen? Alright, that's that done. And that's that done. This side is all signalled up and working. And that's good. So like I said, this little spur, the one that I've just rebuilt, is very rarely going to be used. The only use for it I can think of is trains that bypass Gardcity. So as you can see here, it branches off under the tunnel here, connects up to this line, and then goes through the overground system here. And then somewhere here, you see it branches off here, and then this is the eastern freight loop, and it connects up. Although I would have to rebuild that little bit unless we run it through that junction, which might be better actually. And then that runs off down. Alternatively, we might just have it run through this station and out that way. Alright, George doesn't have any questions. We're coming up to pretty much 2 hours on the dot. So, good time to end. Thank you very much, those of you that have come in and watched. It always means a lot to have people watching and chatting. Watching's fine, like having 12 people. I'd rather have 3 people in the chat and everyone talking than 300 people in the chat and no one saying a word. Because it just feels more fun when you're answering questions and just chatting in general, that kind of thing. But yeah, I'm going to end the stream here. So thank you to my audience for watching. Thank you, Tom, for moderating. Thank you to George and Kurt for coming in and chatting. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, OpenTTD. I am going to look at playing other games on YouTube as well, because it means I haven't got to upload it afterwards. That doesn't mean I've given up on Twitch. The M4J Racing series, for example, is going to be a Twitch series that will then be uploaded to YouTube afterwards. Yeah, I think we're done. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video or the stream, and of course if you enjoyed the series. Head over to my Reddit community. There's 2 posts for this one, so choose the most recent one and you can drop some comments down below there. If you do think of extra questions or comments, you can do it there. One day I will enable comments on the channel again, but not this week. I've not got the time to reply to all of that. Besides that, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button. If you have already subscribed to the channel, thank you guys for your continued support. I won't run the credits this time because there's no new names on there, so I'm just going to cut to the black screen. So thank you very much for watching, and until next time, I will see you soon.